Welcome everyone and Zoom Shakalaka. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for joining us. And Zoom Shakalaka, it is Chaveevah.
Yes,
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you invented that. I mean, how appropriate is it?
well, you got to stick with the times. What can I say?
That's right. We got to do what we got to do. That's right.
Yes.
Well, today in Waterloo, it's a bright, sunny day. It's the start of a new era. A new day has begun. Change gonna come.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
Right?
Yes. Yes. And we
That's
want to thank
right.
everyone for joining us because even in the midst of whatever else bad is going on, there is always, always, always something good going on in the North End and
Everywhere else in the Cedar Valley. And you know this,
oh yes.
right? Right.
Yes.
We had some great protests in the past week. We've had some wonderful, peaceful protests. And we know you've heard some things about the bad part too. There have been some damage and some rioting and things like that. But we ain't going to talk about that, right? We talk about all the peaceful protests and the beautiful people that came out to express and give their um, due diligence to this cause.
And for the hope for progress to come out of something that's been a terrible tragedy that's ignited the entire nation and world. So what we're looking for is the progress that comes after. Yes.
Right. And we've got some great guests. We have one man here that's been a community leader. He's a coach at East High School for the East High girls basketball team. And he was present at the sheriff's swearing in uh, talk that he had at Lincoln Park. And people started gathering, and we just want to talk to him a little bit today, Shaviva, and get his perspective on the city and where it's going.
Yes, Rocky. We're gonna love talking to Coach Corey Muhammad, and we also have some other great guests, and that's Terry and Karen Sallis of Integrated Treatment Service, a
That's
husband and wife.
right. That's right. And we got a wonderful birthday singer, a young man named Ahmad Matlock. And he, along with Little Miss Brooke, I don't know why I keep calling her Little Miss because she's growing
Okay.
right up in front of our eyes. But
Yep.
those two, I would like to hear them sing together sometime.
That would be beautiful. I bet you all are so happy that we now have birthday singers to sing happy birthday to our birthday folks.
That's right. Well, we'll get to all that soon, but we just want to thank you for joining us today. We're going to get on a topic with our guest, who is a very outspoken voice here in the Cedar Valley. And he kind of runs with a crew, kind of like we do, Shaviva. He's with
Yes.
Astor a lot, Astor Williams, DeCarlos Anderson, and his other friends are often seen together. Hello,
Yes.
Corey. Coach Corey.
Hey,
Hey.
how's it going?
It's great. Thank you so much for joining us. And
hmm
we are really just for maybe the three people that don't know who you are, please tell us a little bit of something about yourself.
Um, Obviously, my name is Corey Muhammad, born and raised in Waterloo, Iowa, 1995 grad at East High School. My mother was Patricia Muhammad, or Patricia Cody at the time, who's the vigilante, my hero. May she continue to rest
Yes,
in peace.
yes, my
Um,
girl.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I've been in this community my entire life. I'm the co-founder of the Impact Foundation, a youth organization in this community. I'm the head girls basketball coach at East High, and I just love my community and the people in the community.
Yes, we know that your roots
And
run as far as your involvement with the community and with our young people, and we really appreciate you for that. Could you tell us something about the events that have been going on as far as the protests?
Say that again. Yeah, I heard you say. Could you tell me something?
Yes. Okay. Talk about the experiences that have gone on so far with the protests here in Waterloo.
I'm in 100% agreement with every aspect of the protest. I know people are upset about the violence, but after you're peaceful for so long, what do you expect? Do I want to see the violence happening? No, but I understand and I empathize with my people. I was fortunate, I walked in the first peaceful protest on Friday that started at Soldiers Park, I believe is what it's called on the west side. And we walked across the bridge into Lincoln Park. Uh, and then I was at the protest Monday night at 10 o'clock, and I ended up speaking. Um, the, just the emotion, the atmosphere, I guess, the God aspect of it just drew me to the microphone, and I just had to share what I had to share by the grace of the good Lord. We're just sick and tired of being sick and tired is the best way I can sum it up.
Yes.
That's right. And listen, Corey, we were watching live when the sheriff got sworn in, and not the crowd. As a rule, Black culture, has a tendency to be a little bit louder and boisterous. And Black folks watching it, we're like, okay, everything is cool and everything. But there was a time when people look off camera, and I was worried that somebody was going to start cutting up, but that didn't happen that night. But I want to commend you and our mayor for having that crowd under such good control. It ended up being like a rally, a cheering on and let's continue and no more. Talk about that. And I just want to say, I appreciate you saying we ain't having all that. You raising your voice made a big difference to those young people.
Praise God. Um, well, after witnessing the chief, another historical thing, and first Black chief of Waterloo, as far as I know, and as well, being sworn in by a Black mayor. And I know we keep saying Black, and some people say, why you got to keep saying Black? Because when you look at what's going on in the community and the world, this is why we've been saying Black, because Black lives matter. And it's not about the slogan or that culture or that movement of Black Lives Matter, but Black Lives included in that all. In regards to the rally, the mayor spoke to a room of about 20 or 30 of us, I believe, and asked for us to come down about an hour before. And so I didn't even know anything about it, wasn't prepared or anything. And so I went home, kissed the family, told them what I was about to do, and we went down there. And the spirit just moved me because we have a tendency as Black people, and it's developed out of this self-hatred, inferiority complex, as coming up out of slavery, to always overly judge our own.
Yes.
It's the same. It goes back to I'm gonna go to the white grocery store rather than the Black grocery store, and they got the same milk, and we just assume that their milk is colder. And so we've had a chief before this chief, a chief before that chief, and a chief.
Corey, his audio keeps going out.
Okay. You've
Corey,
lost your mic, Corey.
we've lost your audio, Corey. Corey, we can't hear. He's
I see
muted.
his mic
So
is off.
your mic.
Lost your
I'm
audio.
waiting
Oh,
for him to look at us. We
There
can't
we
hear.
are.
oh,
He's just
Okay.
going.
Yes, we had lost your audio for a few
oh,
minutes.
I'm sorry. I was just saying
Yeah.
he had just been sworn in a few hours, and he hit the ground running. He didn't ask no back. He didn't ask the other officers to come. The sheriff came as well, Tony Thompson, and then the chief, Mr. Fitzgerald, Dr. Fitzgerald, stood there and fielded every question and every emotion that it came in. And we were like, okay, we're going to give him an opportunity to correct the wrong of this city. We're not going to hold what happened 20 years ago to Pookie at a barbecue on this chief's head, and we didn't do it to the chief prior to him or the chief prior to him. And so we're going to give him an opportunity. And I made it plain. Now, if he starts to shuck and jive, then we'll deal with him accordingly. But up until now and moving forward, we're going to give him opportunity. And as you see me, I hit my chest, and that's just what it is. And that's just what it is. We're going to give him an opportunity to correct this. And thus far, he's been stepping, he's been marching.
Yes, indeed. He did hit the ground running. I was impressed. You're impressed. he answered every question patiently, and he looked every individual in the eye and gave them dignity and respect, which is to
Right.
be commended. Yeah. Well, Corey, we want to ask you quickly, what are you this because you're our prelude, and we're going to talk to Black men every time we go live. We're going to talk to Black men this month just to find out
Thank you.
how you're handling this. What's your next site? What is your in your vision for the city, and what's our next move?
There's been a new social movement, Black in Waterloo, so to speak. And I share some sentiments on there. I'm like, we can't continue to wait until there's a platform of this magnitude or incident of this magnitude to decide to want to unite. When we got plenty of
Mhm.
leadership in this community, plenty of money in this community, and us as Black folks squeeze our dollars and refuse to help until somebody is in the cemetery. And if we're really about unity and community and making moves, then when we're doing things positive, we need that energy plus more to make sure that the positive outshines the negative. And that's just what it is. So I'm at a point now to where I'm calling out any type of division. I'm just simply calling it out. If I offend you, so be it. And that's just what it is. I'm no longer accepting any type of
You're up, Corey. Corey. Wait. You're mute. We can't
division.
hear you, Corey.
My phone's blowing up. It's been blowing up for the last 4 or 5 days. But I said I
Oh,
just
you
no
should turn
longer.
off Do Not Disturb, but that's
Oh,
okay.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
I just saying
we're
I'm
just
not accepting any disunity, and I'm calling out all of that. It's time to be unified on one accord, specifically for the future of our community, and that's the youth. And anything that is operating in, we're trying to develop for the youth. We need all hands on deck, and everyone needs to be involved. There's no longer we're going to squeeze our money and go hide in a corner.
yeah. Shaviva,
Right off top, I absolutely commend you for that, and also for other our younger people who are stepping up and making themselves heard. um, Stokely Carmichael said that the youth are the spark of the revolution, so we have to listen to what's being said, and we have to allow for other voices to step in to help progress things and move them forward. And
Right.
we appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, you got a handle on them young people, and we love it. And I know my sister Pat is looking down on you because you look just like her. I can't believe
Thank you.
how much you look like your mother. It's amazing.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much. Yes, you're welcome. And thank you so much, Corey William Muhammad, for joining us. I think it's William Corey Muhammad. Is that right?
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
That's right. And we sure appreciate you and what you do. We'll be
Thank you.
checking back in on you soon.
Okay.
All right. Thank you again. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Have a great day.
You too, dear.
Just want
All
to
right.
take a moment to say hi to the folks that are watching. Um, Lori Dale says, great speech. And of course, all of my comments dropped. Right. All right, there we go. Patricia Harris, thank you for watching. Terry Sallis, who is our guest this upcoming, thank you for watching. Lorraine Reed, Randy Hess says, good afternoon.
Yes. Hey, neighbor.
Yes,
You see Joe Parker, Lori Dale, like you said, Mike Hughes,
yes.
Velveeta Robertson, and Shaviva Banks Ferguson is watching as well. Lori, we saw you. Yeah, Patty. Which brings me, before we bring our guests on, Shaviva, I want to talk to you about your little anniversary here. You and Patricia Harris started Behar Publishing clear back in 2003.
Yes, yes.
Oh, what a ride!
Absolutely. Yes, we started in 2003. We actually won a small business competition. We won some funds in order to be able to get started, and the route sort of carried us along in some ways because we had initially wanted to start with another publication and then eventually get to books. but it ended up the exact opposite, where we started with books with the thought then to later get into other publications. And from then to now, the company has published over 70 books. So,
That's right. That's right. And Patty, I remember those, and she's watching today. I want to say, hey, Patty, we love you. And I remember some of those meetings at your townhouse, when we would come to visit and have some great productive meetings when you started with the company way back then. So
yeah.
congratulations. Congratulations. And if any of you are looking to publish a book, they can reach Chaveevah at Chaveevah North End Update at
At
gmail.com.
gmail.com, yes.
Yes. So we've collaborated on a few things through the years, and we're thankful. And you were the first Black publishing company, hello, in the Lou, in Waterloo. I know that for a fact.
I checked,
Okay.
and I think in Iowa, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, that's right. Well, duh, right, in Iowa. We just admitted Terry and his lovely wife. Hello. Hi there, Karen and Terry Sallis.
Miss Jocelyn, Sister Chaveevah, Chestnut
Hello.
friend.
Yes, Waterloo Zone. Go, baby.
Okay. I was wondering when she was going to pull out the goo baby.
Oh, we got
But,
to have that in there.
Yeah, we just want to say thank you both so much for joining us and being on the show. I know that you are a resident, a born and raised Waterloo person, and just introduce yourself and say a little bit of something, you and your wife both.
Ladies first. Say who you are and say who you are and something about you.
I'm Karen Sallis, and this is the love of my life. Go baby Sallis. We've been
All
together
right.
since 1973. Done a lot of things together, ups and downs. We're having a great life now.
I will certainly attest to that.
Wonderful.
But my name is Terry Sallis. I'm known as Goo Baby. I'm also known as Nijam Elamine Shabazz. There's a lot of names that I carry because there were certainly so many different incarnations that I was involved with in my 60 plus years of life. And like I said, my wife and I, we met in 1973. I was an inmate at Anamosa Prison at the time, and she came in and talked. And so I needed a girlfriend while I was in prison, so I caught that rascal.
Oh, good. Well, listen, I appreciate you being on this show as well. And thank you guys so much for being with us. I wanted to ask a couple of questions because we got to get this out there anyway. And I know that you would be a good person to ask this. Now, they're looking for legislative, going through the process of getting this law passed. Have you seen that online, Chaveevah? The ban the police chokeholds.
Yes.
Number one, they want to ban that police chokeholds unless a person poses an imminent threat of death or serious injury. I think that's a no-brainer. Number two, I saw Rob Smith last night or yesterday on Facebook Live make it illegal to rehire police fired for misconduct. And number three is to allow the Attorney General to investigate police misconduct, and this legislation would empower both state and local attorney general and county attorneys to bring charges against law enforcement. So can you comment on that a little bit, Goo?
Well, yeah.
You think that, is that something you could go ahead and
for me, what's going on now is just simply a microcosm of the larger society, and it's giving visibility to the behaviors that's been going on for the last 50, actually the last 100 years. If you look at
Right.
what happened in Waterloo in 1968 when Eddie Sallis got hung in the Waterloo County Jail, they claimed he hung himself, but we've come to find out that he was murdered by a policeman. Policemen have been killing people for a lot of years. And so the disruption that we see in our communities today is just simply a continuation of things that's been going on for a number of years. In 1968, in September, Waterloo made front page of Newsweek. They brought the National Guard in there because of the riots that was going on behind the death of Martin Luther King. But there was a number of riots that happened in Waterloo over the years that We had an assertive young black population that was about getting positive responses to things that we felt were problematic for us. So what's going on now definitely is not new, but it's certainly something that's
Right.
absolutely needed. And I hope they don't take their foot off the gas at this point. The violence piece, um, we engaged in a lot of violence because we felt that we had no voice had we not done that. You know, there was a lot of turning the other cheek back in those days, like for those people that were
Yes.
Martin Luther
Oh
King.
yeah.
But we were W.B. Du Bois advocates who said, you know, power concedes nothing without demand. And
Yes.
so if you don't demand it, you're not going to get it. And you can't demand it by begging. Sometimes you have to show and be assertive. Now, I don't like what I've seen that you know you got a lot of white people that's doing a lot of tearing up stuff and they're tagging buildings with Black Lives Matters. And I like the way that those black girls came to them and said, "Stop doing that because you're putting a target on my back." They said, "When you start um, messing with people's property and destroying property, they're not going to show you on TV. They're going to show me on TV, and I'm going to be the
Right. And you know
blame for all that."
there will always be those people that are going to ruin, those types of people that are going to make us all, everyone look bad, mankind, humanity look bad by undermining a good cause, one way or the other.
So I
So
hope they keep the
yeah.
focus on the positive things and all of those peaceful demonstrations that they've had throughout the country, and they certainly a lot more of them that's happened in those situations that they engaged in violence on.
Additionally, a lot of the violence came from agitators from the outside. They weren't from the protesters.
Yeah.
They were from the
Right.
supremacist
Yes,
groups.
other people
The hate
attempting to
people
hijack the meaning
try
of what's
to
going on and use it for their
right,
purposes.
to
Yeah.
try to discredit the protesters.
Yeah.
Yes.
By showing looting and all of that. But it wasn't the protesters doing it. It was the
That's
white
right.
supremacists and those hate groups
Hmm.
that
That's right.
infiltrated.
Now tell us, what made you want to start and get into the drug rehabilitation business? Tell us about your business and how people can contact you if they need help, and how would they know if they needed help, Goo Baby?
Well, I guarantee you, anyone that's an addict, he absolutely knows that they need help. Whether they affirm it or acknowledge it to their family or people around them, because addicts are some of the biggest liars that you got on the planet, because they have one goal, that's to continue to use. Addiction is a brain injury, and that the only way that you can uh, fix that addiction, you got to allow the brain to heal. And it takes time for that brain to heal, minimally a year. A 28-day treatment program is not sufficient enough to address those issues that addicts have. And unfortunately, the traditional drug treatment agencies, they offer a 28-day treatment program. And the people that go into treatment, they use that word like treatment is a magic word or something. Honey, I'm in treatment. I'm going to treatment. And then the mom says, "Oh my God, my son is in treatment." Like that's a magic word of some sort.
Right.
But it's not a magic word. A 28-day treatment program doesn't give that person uh, no more than an opportunity to rest and get out there and start doing the same thing that they were engaged in before. Our treatment program is a year minimally. It takes that type of longevity for you to let that brain heal, and you can address those issues that is endemic of what's going on with you. Uh, Addiction.
Right.
No, I was going to ask what kind of services overall do you are included
We're a
with your
comprehensive agency. I have 12 employees. We
Don't
have
mind me. I'm gonna have some wine though.
have at it. I wish I was there with you getting some. But we got 12 employees. We have um, master licensed independent social workers that address those people that's got mental health problems. And we as Black people, we don't like to deal with our mental health problems because of the stigma that's associated with it. So when we start looking at our issues, mental health issues, we tend to want to drink and use drugs and things like that to avoid, what's internally going on with us. But we do mental health therapy. We do outpatient substance abuse therapy. We do BHEAD, which is behavioral health intervention services for children. We've got a lot of kids that are raised in dysfunctional families where their parents are addicted, and those children they get the brunt of that negativity, and they internalize those messages, and they tend to want to blame themselves for those problems that's coming down from the top down. So we work
Wow.
with children. Um,
Do you classes?
yeah, and we do drunk driving school. We have a drunk driving school here. When people get an OWI, they can come and see me.
Wow.
I'll do the evaluation, and we'll do the school. We're the only agency that does both the evaluations and the drunk driving school. We're licensed to do
Wow.
What communities do you serve?
all communities.
Okay.
All
Wow.
communities.
So, well, to our listeners, you can always call Terry Sallis or Karen Sallis, and that's at Integrated.
Integrated, you can reach us at Integrated Treatment Services. We got a telephone number of 641-792-0045, or you can go to our website, which is integratedtreatmentservices.com. I think that's what it is. .org? Okay. Integratedtreatmentservices.org. But you'll be surprised of the work that we do and the type of work that we do and the number of people that we serve. Our agency has been voted the best behavioral health agency in the Midwest from 2016, 17, 18,
Actually, got
19,
one in 15.
and 15
Yeah,
also.
this
Yeah. But 6 years running because we are a client-centered agency. We don't turn anybody away. Money is not going to be an issue. You come to us, you're going to get served. You're going to get some help, and you don't.
Wow.
So
That is so That is so needed. And I know you. I know your whole family grew up across the street from you. You're good people. And we certainly appreciate you being on our show today. Repeat
yeah,
the phone number. And we'd like to invite you to the birthday party. We're going to have our birthday singer. Can y'all jam with us for a little while?
we
While
could
we,
stand with you a little while, but I want to tell you about my carnival in the park. We've done that 7 years in a row, in which we feed
what's that?
we we do a carnival in the park every year,
Oh,
and we feed. The first one was in Waterloo, where we fed 600 people, but we do 1,000 people every summer because our kids can't go to the Iowa State Fair. So when the fair is over, we do a carnival. Everything is free food,
oh,
free everything. You can't purchase anything at the carnival in the park, and I wanted to speak to that before we got out.
wow.
So let's
And
hear the
what
birthday.
park is that?
It's
I
we do it.
can't find Ahmad. Where are you? Ahmad's supposed to be waiting and he's not. But what carnival, what park is that?
It's at Aurora Heights Park, and we do it at the end of August. But we got a lot of people from Waterloo that come down and support the carnival. Lots of people.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Great.
Sounds
Great.
and I want to commend that brother Corey Muhammad. I didn't have a chance to acknowledge him. I do want to acknowledge him and admire the work and the effort that he's putting into it. It's really great to see someone pick up the baton that we left off down there and they're still engaged in the fray. So congratulations, stay in the fight, Corey, and we're pulling for you.
That's
right.
right. Thank
Again,
you.
thank you and Karen so much for joining us. As you can see now, we are joined by Ahmad Madlock,
Oh,
our celebrity birthday singer. So let's quickly, Rocky.
Yes, we want to introduce Ahmad Matlock, who is a prolific vocalist who has been seen where, Ahmad? Tell us all about your list of accomplishments. I know we've seen you on the North End Art Fest. Tell us some more places you've been singing recently.
Well, I've been doing a lot of singing recently on my Facebook page. but I sing with my church choir. I sing with a lot of different choirs around Cedar Falls and Waterloo. And anytime there's an event that I'm asked to sing, I'm always making sure to get there and do my best.
All right. So anybody having a wedding, Chaveevah? We know anybody getting married, we could have a mod come to.
I'll keep that in mind. I don't know anyone right off top, but yes.
Okay. Well, Terry and Karen, if you guys want to renew your vows or something someday, here's a wedding singer and a birthday singer.
Well, thank you very much. We just renewed our vows here a couple of years ago in Waterloo. So.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Such a lovely couple. And now, Chaveevah, if you like to, we hope our birthday people are watching. We got a few of them today. Go ahead, Chaveevah.
Yes, happy birthday to Trinette Williams-Weidman, Darius Lovelace, Carolyn Dorr, Daryl Center, Sheila Blackwell, hey cuz, Jesse Henderson, Wendy Knapp Bowman, and Xavion Harris. Happy birthday.
All right.
Happy
birthday. And happy birthday to Barbara Culpepper Shield, Mersad Kusavat, Chantel Sisk, Quentin Hart.
Yeah.
Mayor Quentin Hart. Joe Parker, our very own high school principal. Hey, Joe, happy birthday, young fella. Dave Getman, Tara's husband.
Happy birthday.
Dave Getman, he's way more than Tara's husband, right? Kiana Levy and Trayshawn Forney. All right, birthday people. Go ahead, Ahmad, let's hear what you got.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all you. Happy birthday to you. You're older now. You're older now.
Yeah.
You're older now. So happy birthday to you.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
What
Thank
a
you
gifted young man. What a gifted young man.
Indeed. And Ahmad, I happened to see you on Facebook. I think you were kind of summarizing some of your thoughts and feelings. How are you coping with not only the pandemic, but the racial tension that's going on now? Can you talk to us a little bit about that? What are your feelings?
I most definitely can. Throughout this time, it's been really interesting to see through the first global pandemic that we kind of had to deal with, COVID-19, how everyone was kind of very separated and all very scared of each other. And I think through what's called the second global pandemic, racism itself, everyone is scared of each other for another reason. And I think that's really interesting, but it's also brought us as Black people and those of us who care about the plight of Black people closer together at the same time. So I don't know, it's been very interesting to see.
It's been very interesting also to see young people such as yourself expressing themselves so thoughtfully. You know, it gives me a lot of hope for the future to know that we have young people like you that are using this, and we appreciate you. And we appreciate your beautiful voice singing happy birthday today too.
Thank you.
Yes, we do. We always have beautiful guests, Chaveevah, and today was no exception.
Every time. Hey.
Right. So remember, all of our listeners, we want to remind you to listen and understand that there are some things that may not include. The conversations need to include everyone. So let's all keep talking and keep doing more of what makes us awesome.
Because it makes us all look good. Hey.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us, you two. And thank you, Ahmad. And until next time, we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.